I see ghosts. Yeah, I know, it's not as cool as it sounds. But this was something different, something new, something hungry. Then she appeared. A girl with a sword, fighting a monster only I could see.
I used all my power to save your friends. Now you'll have to take my place. Got any problems?
Name is Ichigo Kurosaki. And for some reason, I'm a soul reaper. When a spirit lingers in the human world, bound by regret or an unfulfilled goal, they risk a terrible fate. Their chain of fate begins to corrode, a countdown to the loss of their heart. Consumed by despair, they are transformed. Their soul is reborn, but not as itself. They become a hollow, a being of pure hunger, forever seeking to fill the void in their chest. A monster born from a broken heart, now a predator of the living and the dead.
After losing his Soul Reaper powers, Ichigo was lost. But a new group, Execution, offered him a path to regain his strength. They were Fullbringers, humans with hollow powers, and they claimed they wanted to help him master this new ability. Through intense trials, Ichigo honed his Fullbring, unaware that he was being manipulated for a dark purpose. But it was all a lie. Their real goal was to steal Ichigo's hard-earned power for themselves. In a final desperate battle, Ichigo faced Ginjo to reclaim what was his and put an end to Execution's reign of deception. Their leader defeated, Execution was scattered to the winds, their tragic quest for normalcy ending in ruin.
From the shadows of the Soul Society, a forgotten empire rises, the Vandenreich, the Invisible Empire, led by their sovereign, Yhwach, the father of all Quincy's and the most powerful enemy the world has ever seen. With an army of elite Sternritter and ruthless soldiers, they have but one goal: revenge. First, they conquered Hueco Mundo, enslaving its mighty Arancars to strengthen their ranks. Then, they struck the Soul Society itself, bringing death to its greatest warriors, including the head captain. His power, the Almighty, lets him see and rewrite all possible futures, a power that makes him invincible. His true goal is not just revenge, it is to destroy every world and end all life for eternity.
Meet Pepe Wakabrada, the Sternritter with the power of the love. A harmless Cupid, right? Wrong. His power is a nightmare, forcing allies to turn on each other with a single command, all for his own glory.
Such a beautiful sight. Love truly conquers all.
But what happens when you face an enemy who knows no love? An enemy with no heart to control, who is powerless, defeated without a single drop of his love being able to save him.
You should have shared.
When a soul dies with unfinished business, it becomes a plus, trapped between worlds, bound by a chain of fate. But when that bond is broken by time or tragedy, the soul's chain begins to corrode, a process that spells its doom. When the chain is gone, a hole opens in their chest, a sign that they have lost their heart. Their spirit shatters and reforms, reborn as a creature of pure hunger. A hollow. Driven by an eternal hunger, they devour other souls to fill the void, forever lost to the darkness they have become.
They're more than just shopkeepers. This is the true power of the Urahara shop. Yoruichi Shihoin, the goddess of flash, unmatched speed, and the devastating power of Shunko. Hisai Tsukabishi, former captain of the Kido Corps, a master of forbidden spells, wielding power that defies limits. Jinta Hanakari, a bratty slacker with a crush, and a lethal iron rod that hits like a truck. Ururu Tsumugia, don't let her gentle face fool you. Her combat power is rated Anti-Soul Reaper. Together, they are the unsung heroes of Karakura Town. This is the story of a boy who could see ghosts, and the destiny that changed the world. Forced into a war between the living and the dead, he became a Soul Reaper. But he would not fight alone. Friends, bound by destiny, would stand by his side. Facing a traitor whose ambition threatened all reality, Ichigo would have to transcend his limits. He ventured into hell itself, sacrificed his power, and saved the ones he loved. When all seemed lost, his power was restored, and a new legend was born. This is Ichigo Kurosaki, the substitute Soul Reaper.
When a soul cannot let go of the living world, it lingers. But this peace is a lie. Their chain of fate begins to corrode, a countdown to the loss of their heart. Consumed by regret and obsession, the soul's descent into darkness begins. When the chain breaks, the heart is lost. Their form warps, reborn as a monster, driven by an unquenchable hunger for souls. They're no longer human. They are hollow. A soul lost to despair.
They are the guardians of souls, elite warriors tasked with protecting the living world from the corrupt hollows. They are the Soul Reapers. From the noble Kuchiki clan, Captain Byakuya Kuchiki, a stoic aristocrat whose unwavering resolve is matched only by the devastating power of his Bankai, Senbonzakura Kageyoshi. In stark contrast, the enigmatic Kisuke Urahara, a former captain and brilliant inventor whose laid-back demeanor hides a strategic mind and a terrifying Bankai. One, a former enemy bound by duty. The other, a reluctant ally who holds the key to victory. Both have shaped the fate of the substitute Soul Reaper, Ichigo Kurosaki. Different paths, different principles. But when the world is in peril, these two captains stand together, a testament to the true spirit of a Soul Reaper.
You think Urahara's shop is just a quirky store? Think again. The real power is hiding in plain sight. Meet the former captain and commander of the secret mobile corps, the goddess of flash, Yoriichi Shihoin. With speed unmatched even by captains and power that can shatter mountains, she's a one-woman army. This simple shopkeeper was once the captain of the Kido Corps. He can cast forbidden level 99 spells without even saying the incantation. Even the kids pack a punch. Jinta's brute strength and Ururu's anti-Soul Reaper firepower are not to be underestimated. So remember, in Karakura town, the most dangerous warriors might just be your friendly neighborhood shop assistants.
After losing his powers, Ichigo found new allies, but Execution's offer of help hid a darker truth. They were Fullbringers, humans with hollow powers, united by a leader scorned by the Soul Society itself. Their goal? To help Ichigo master a new power. But their real plan was far more sinister. Manipulated by Tsukishima's memory-altering blade, Ichigo's friends became enemies. Ginjo's true aim was revealed, to steal Ichigo's Fullbring. A war erupted. Execution's members clashed with Soul Reapers, a desperate gambit for power ending in bloodshed. In the end, their leader was defeated, their organization shattered. Some found redemption, others found only death. The tale of Execution was over.
From the shadows, a forgotten empire returned. The Vandenreich's goal, the total annihilation of the Soul Society. But their invasion was met by the strongest Soul Reaper, a warrior of unmatched power and fury. Yet even the Captain Commander fell. The Empire's ruler, Yuwak, had declared war on all existence. Hope rested on the shoulders of one man, a substitute Soul Reaper, the only one who could challenge the Emperor. A battle that would decide the fate of 3 worlds. The final chapter was written in blood and fire.
They were the Sternritter, the elite soldiers of the Vandenreich, each a force of nature. Bazby, the heat, a man whose very spirit burned with the power to incinerate armies. Kangdu, the iron, an impenetrable wall of Quincy might who stole the power of a captain. Kilgaopi, the jail, the merciless jailer of Hueco Mundo enforcing Yuwak's iron will. But even gods of war can fall, betrayed, outmatched, or cut down in their prime. The power was absolute, their legacy written in blood and ashes. He was just a teenager until a single act of sacrifice changed his fate forever. Forced into a war between spirits, Ichigo Kurosaki became a Soul Reaper. To save a friend, he challenged the afterlife itself only to uncover a terrifying betrayal. In a world of monsters, he faced the darkness within himself to save the one he loved. To protect everyone, he made the ultimate sacrifice, losing the power that defined him. Every legend has a way of returning. This is the story of a substitute Soul Reaper.
When a soul dies with unresolved regret, it lingers, bound by a chain of fate, its connection to the living world. Trapped between worlds, it watches as life moves on without it, its purpose slipping away. Consumed by despair, the chain corrodes, a process that can take years, or be forced in a matter of days, until the soul's heart is lost completely. A hole opens, and the spirit is reborn as a monster, a hollow, a being born from loss, driven only by an insatiable hunger for souls. And so, it joins its kind, a new predator in the endless cycle of life and death.
In a world of spirits and shadows, they are the elite protectors. But not all heroes wear their power on their sleeve. Meet Kisuke Urahara. To the casual eye, just a quirky shopkeeper with a knack for losing customers. But behind the carefree facade lies a former captain, a genius inventor, and the founder of the Shinigami Research Institute. His weapon, Benihime, is a master of both defense and destruction, a reflection of his own complex soul. He outsmarted the master manipulator, Aizen, with a single, perfectly timed gambit. A plan within a plan. Fugitive, a savior, a shopkeeper. Kisuke Urahara, the man with a plan and a power you can't judge by his cover. This is the story of a boy who became a god of death, and the friends who stood by his side through every hell. Facing impossible odds against a traitor who sought to reshape reality itself. He sacrificed everything to protect the ones he loved. But even in the deepest darkness, a true hero's spirit will always find a way to rise again.
What happens when a soul can't let go? When the bonds to the living world are all that remain? Trapped, they watch their world move on without them. Their chain of fate begins to corrode, piece by piece. Consumed by regret and obsession, the soul's heart begins to break, and a new hole forms in its place. This is the birth of a hollow, a spirit that has lost its heart, now a monster driven by an unquenchable hunger, a being born of despair, destined to feast on the souls of the living. For over 1,000 years, they have been the mortal enemies of soul society, a never-ending cycle of tragedy.
They were the outcasts, humans with the power of hollows. This is the tragic tale of execution. When Ichigo Kurosaki lost his powers, they appeared with a tempting offer to teach him a new power, Fullbring. Led by the first substitute Soul Reaper, Kugo Ginjo, their goal seemed simple: help Ichigo regain his strength. Through rigorous training, they unlocked Ichigo's Fullbring, pushing him to his limits. But it was all a lie. A carefully crafted illusion by Tsukishima's memory-altering power. Their true goal was revealed: to steal Ichigo's hard-earned power for themselves. In the end, their betrayal led to their downfall. Defeated by Ichigo, Kyuskushin was scattered, their leader dead. Quest for normality had failed, leaving them as they began, alone.
In a world of gods and monsters, one name commands respect and fear. Yoruichi Shihoin. A former captain and noble leader, she abandoned her title to protect the innocent, forging her own path. The goddess of Flash. Her speed is unmatched, and her power, unleashed in Shunko, is legendary. By her side stands Tessai Tsukabishi, a former captain of the Kido Corps. His strength and magic are unparalleled. And the kids? Don't let their looks fool you. Jinta's brute force and Ururu's hidden lethal power make them a force to be reckoned with. They are more than allies. They are family, ready for whatever the world throws their way.
The Wandenreich brought the heat, but some Sternritter were just hot garbage. Here are the 5 weakest. Number 5, Pepe Wakabrata, the Love. His power, making people fall for him. His weakness, people who literally don't know the meaning of love. Ouch. Number 4, Robert Accutrone, the N, a sharpshooter who took out a captain's eye only to be left behind and erased by his own boss. Loyalty gets you nowhere. Number 3, Driscoll Bercy, the Overkill. Got stronger with every kill, but messed with the wrong old man. Yamamoto didn't even break a sweat. Number 2, Masked Masculine, the Superstar. His power relied on an audience. Too bad his opponent didn't watch wrestling. And number 1, Berenice and Jerome, the Question and the Roar. One talked too much, the other was too loud. Both got one-shotted by Zaraki. Honorable mention to Menina's, but honestly, these 5 were the real MVPs of failure. The Wandenreich's biggest L's.
When a human dies with unresolved regrets, they may become a plus, trapped between worlds, unable to move on. Their chain of fate slowly corrodes, a timer counting down to their descent into darkness. As despair consumes them, their soul begins to break, their heart giving way to an insatiable hunger, until a hole tears through their very being, signifying they have lost their heart. Their spirit shatters and rearranges, reborn as a monster, a hollow, driven by an eternal hunger. They are now bound to devour other souls forever.
This is the story of a boy who became a god of death. Forced to protect the living from ghosts, he found strength in friendship. When the system sentenced his friend to death, he stormed the afterlife itself. But a greater evil emerged, threatening to reshape reality itself. To save the world, he sacrificed everything he had become. The true hero's journey never truly ends. This is Ichigo Kurosaki's legacy.
They called themselves Execution, outcasts with the power to unlock an object's true soul. When Ichigo lost his Soul Reaper powers, they offered a path to regain his strength. They trained him in the art of Fullbring, unlocking the hidden power within his own soul. But it was all a lie. Their memories were manipulated, and their true goal was far more sinister. Their real mission, to steal Ichigo's power for themselves. A betrayal fueled by a desire for normality. But their victory was short-lived. In the end, they were defeated, scattered, and broken. The quest for a normal life had failed, leaving them as outcasts once more.
When a spirit's earthly ties are broken, a dark transformation begins. This is the fate of the forgotten. Their chain of fate begins to corrode, a countdown to the loss of their heart. As the chain vanishes, a hole tears open, birthing an insatiable hunger. From the void, a mask is born, sealing away their humanity forever. Longer human, it is now a hollow, a being of pure hunger, doomed to devour other souls to fill the void within.
They are the Invisible Empire, the Wandenreich. For a millennium, they plotted revenge against the Soul Society. Ruled by their god emperor, they conquered Hueco Mundo and amassed an army of Arinkars and their own elite Sternritter. Rock, the progenitor of all Quincy's. His power, the Almighty, allows him to see and rewrite all possible futures. Sealed away by Yamamoto, his return was marked by stealing the powers of his own children, including Ichigo's mother. His goal? To destroy the Soul Society, the human world, and Hueco Mundo, creating a new world without death.
They call her the goddess of Flash, but her true power is far greater. Master of Shunpo, her speed is unmatched. A former captain and noble leader, unleashing Shunko, she is a force of nature, untouchable in close combat. Beside her stands a former Kido Corps captain, a master of forbidden spells, and a young man whose bratty exterior hides incredible physical prowess. In the shadows of the Urahara shop, legends are reborn.
What happens when a soul can't let go? When regret chains it to the living world? That chain, once a link to their body, slowly corrodes. With each link lost, their heart grows darker. Consumed by despair, the soul's obsession warps it, turning love into a twisted, protective fury, until finally, the heart is lost. A void opens, and they are reborn. No longer human, they become a hollow, driven by an insatiable hunger for souls. Monster born from sorrow, now the enemy of all who cherish life. This is the fate of the lost.
This is the story of a boy who became a god of death to protect the ones he loved. Alongside his friends, each with their own hidden power, he would face impossible odds. When his friend was sentenced to die, he stormed the afterlife itself. But the real enemy was hidden in plain sight, a mastermind with a god complex. To save the girl who loved him, he ventured into the realm of hollows and faced their greatest warriors. Time and again, he sacrificed everything, only to rise again. This is the legend of Ichigo Kurosaki.
In a world where spirits dwell, a new legend was forged in battle. Meet the substitute, Ichigo Kurosaki, a teenager burdened with the power to protect both worlds. By his side, allies with unwavering resolve, each a warrior in their own right, and the elite soul reapers who guide him, power and honor bound by a sacred duty. Facing them, the Espadas, the 10 most feared beings in the realm of hollows. This is the story of a soul, reaped by destiny.
You know Ichigo, but what about the other Fullbringers? Their powers were weird, tragic, and deadly. Yukio could trap people in video games. After a power-up, he didn't even need a console. He later used his tech to help save the world. Jackie's dirty boots made her stronger the filthier she got. But she hated her power for failing to save her family and eventually gave it up. Yuriko's time tells no lies imposed unbreakable timers. He got stronger, but met a swift end against the monster, Kenpachi Zaraki. Mo's jackpot knuckle gave him insane luck, but it drained his stamina. Betrayed by his boss, he chose loyalty in the end. Their struggles were nothing compared to the Vandenreich. The invisible empire of Quincy's, led by the godlike Yuach, sought to erase all existence.
What happens when a soul can't let go? Trapped between worlds, consumed by regret, their chain of fate begins to corrode, a countdown to a horrifying transformation. As their ties to humanity fade, a hole opens in their chest, and their heart is lost, reborn as a monster, driven by an eternal, insatiable hunger, a hollow, a spirit of despair, forever cursed to feast on the living and the dead. And so, the eternal war between Soul Society and Hollow Kind continues.
What defines a hero? Is it unwavering duty or a hidden purpose? Byakuya Kuchiki, a captain bound by the iron laws of his noble clan, even if it meant sacrificing his own sister, and Kisuke Urahara, the enigmatic shopkeeper whose goofy smile masks a genius intellect and a dark past. A former captain, framed and exiled for a crime he didn't commit, forced to hide in the world of the living. Yet, his true power, the Inquisition of the Crimson Princess, can rewrite the very fabric of existence. Different paths, different methods, but a single unwavering goal: to protect the balance, no matter the cost.
They are the Sternritter, the elite soldiers of the Vandenreich, each a force of nature with a unique, devastating power. Baz B, the Heat. With a snap of his fingers, he commands infernos that can incinerate entire squads. Kangdu, the Iron. His body is an impenetrable fortress, turning any attack back on his foes. Quilga Opi, the Jail. He hunts in Hueco Mundo, imprisoning all who dare defy the Vandenreich. BG-9, the Kea. A sadistic machine of war, armed with an arsenal of horrors hidden beneath its cloak. 4 warriors, 4 powers. The Soul Reapers face an army like no other. Can they survive the Quincy invasion?
When a soul's earthly ties are broken, a new nightmare is born. This is the fate of the forgotten. Their chain of fate corrodes, a countdown to damnation. A heart forgotten by the world begins to fade. From the void, a hollow is born, driven by an insatiable hunger, a monster wearing the face of its former self. To fill the emptiness, it devours other souls, a cycle of eternal pain and hunger. Two paths to end a hollow. One purifies, sending the soul to peace. The other destroys, risking the balance of all worlds.
My name is Ichigo Kurosaki. I see ghosts. And my life got weird when this person forced me into a part-time job from hell. I've always been able to see the dead. I thought it was normal. I was wrong.
I'm a soul reaper, tasked with sending lost souls to the afterlife. But I was defeated and had no choice but to pass my powers to you.
So now I'm stuck doing her job until she gets her powers back. This is not how I planned my week. My first real mission was to send my classmate, Orihime Inoue, to the afterlife. I had to say goodbye. As a soul reaper, it's my duty to protect the living and guide the souls of the dead, even if it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
They were outcasts, their powers a curse. Execution, the Fullbringers. Their goal, to steal the power of a substitute soul reaper, but their rebellion was crushed. Defeated, broken, and scattered, their fates seemed sealed. Yet, their story was far from over. When the Quincy's invisible empire descended, bringing ruin to all, a new threat forced old enemies to become unlikely allies. Enlisted by Kisuke Urahara, Yukio's power became a crucial weapon, a digital sanctuary amidst the chaos of the final war. In their final chapter, the outcasts found their place. Not as villains, but as heroes, fighting for a world they had once sought to change.
When a soul's regret is too strong, it remains a prisoner to its own heart. Trapped between worlds, the soul's chain slowly erodes, a countdown to damnation.
A scream of pure anguish, distorting into a guttural roar.
In the absence of a heart, a new being is born, a hollow. Driven by an eternal hunger, it is now a monster, a shadow of its former self.
The Vandenreich's stern Ritter were more than just soldiers. They were monsters with godlike powers, each more ruthless than the last. Pepe Wakabrada, the love. He could make anyone fall for him, even to the point of killing their own allies. Robert Acutrone, the N. A sharpshooter who nearly took down a captain commander with a single perfect shot. Driscoll Bertzi, the overkill. The more he killed, the stronger he became. A fitting end, crushed by the god of battle himself. And Mask Demasculine, the superstar. A delusional fighter whose strength grew with every cheer, a true force of arrogant destruction. In the end, their own hubris and the Soul Reaper's resolve proved to be the true power. Their reign of terror was over.
They say curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Meet Yoruichi Shihoin. Not just a cat, but a former captain of the Gotei 13. Her speed is legendary, earning her the title Goddess of Flash, a title she still more than lives up to. Master of hand-to-hand combat and the advanced technique Shunko, a force of nature in human form, ancient power, a playful soul. Don't let her easygoing nature fool you. She is Yoruichi.
I can see ghosts. It's a pain. But my life as a normal teenager was about to get a whole lot weirder.
Shinigami's duty is to protect the living and send spirits to the afterlife, but I was defeated.
She forced her job on me. Now I'm a substitute Shinigami, whether I like it or not.
Did I just die?
Don't be scared. I'm here to send you to a safe place, to Soul Society. First mission complete. Being a Soul Reaper isn't just about fighting. It's about giving peace.
They called her Mr. Yoruichi, but the truth was far more complex than any could have imagined. She is Yoruichi Shihoin, the goddess of Flash, a title earned through speed unmatched even by the greatest captains, master of forbidden arts, turning her body into a weapon of pure destruction. Former captain, a noble and a fugitive, a legend who walks her own path. When a soul refuses to pass on, clinging to the living world, a terrible fate awaits. This is the story of a heart lost to despair. Trapped between worlds, their bonds decay. Regret and obsession fester, warping the spirit. As their chain of fate corrodes, they teeter on the edge of a transformation into a monster. When the chain is gone, a hole opens in their chest. Their heart is lost, and a hollow is born. Being of pure hunger, a spirit reborn to devour other souls, the eternal enemy of the soul society.
What happens when a soul is lost? They are the protectors, the guides, the soul reapers. Each wields a zanpakuto, a blade that is both a weapon and a physical manifestation of their very soul. Take Captain Byakuya Kuchiki, a paragon of noble duty, who once deemed even his own sister's execution necessary. Then there is Kisuke Urahara, a seemingly carefree shopkeeper whose goofy facade hides a brilliant, tactical mind. His power is a beautiful storm of absolute order, while his is a forbidden art of reconstruction, capable of rewriting reality itself. Order and chaos, duty and rebellion, two souls, one purpose, to protect the balance.
Iwak returned, and with him the end of the Soul Society began. With a judgment that stole life to fuel his army, he marched towards godhood. Accompanied by his strongest, the Schutzstaffel, he invaded the royal realm itself. Led by Lilibaro, the elite guard shattered the royal guard's defenses. Iwak claimed the power of the Soul King, becoming the new linchpin of reality. Even his loyal right hand, Hashwalth, was sacrificed to secure his victory. But in his moment of triumph, Iwak was defeated by Uryu's arrow and Ichigo's final blow. His reign of terror ended, his spirit extinguished. The world was left to continue the cycle of life and death.
In the Vandenreich, even the most broken powers met a fate more brutal than death itself. The Anzolwesel, the wind, who pushed away all harm until his own clothes became his undoing. Lloyd, the yourself, who copied any power, but learned a true monster's strength is not so easily imitated. Giselle Guvel, the zombie, master of the undead, fell to the very puppets she once controlled. Chaz Domino, the viability, who could not die until his own stolen power was used against him.
When a soul cannot let go of its earthly ties, it becomes trapped, watching as the world moves on without it. Its chain of fate begins to corrode, a physical manifestation of a heartbreaking inch by inch. Consumed by an unquenchable obsession, the soul's sorrow turns to a hunger that can never be satisfied. And so, the soul is reborn. No longer human, it is now a hollow, a being of pure hunger. Driven to devour other souls to fill the void in its chest, it is a prisoner of its own eternal pain. And even in this darkness, a chance for salvation exists, delivered by the souls who guide the lost.
In a world where ghosts walk among the living, one boy's ordinary life was about to shatter. When he gained the powers of a soul reaper, Ichigo Kurosaki became a protector of the innocent, joined by his loyal friends, each hiding their own incredible abilities, and even former enemies, who became the strongest of rivals. But a greater threat looms, a mastermind pulling the strings from the shadows. This is the story of Bleach. Are you ready to face the darkness?
They were meant to be forgotten. An accident of immortality, hunting in the shadows of our world. Led by a man consumed by revenge, the Bounce seek the ultimate power to burn it all down. But a new guardian stands in their way, a substitute Shinigami with the power of a Hollow. Yet, another threat watches from the darkness. A master manipulator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When worlds collide and enemies unite, who can stand against the tide of absolute destruction? The stage is set. The war for souls begins now.
They were the elite, the chosen, the stern ritter, Bazbi, the heat, a burning fury that scorched even captains, Kangdu, the iron, an impenetrable wall of unbending will, Quilge Opi, the jail, the unbreakable cage that held a god of death, BG9, the knowledge, a machine of pure, relentless destruction. But even legends fall, to betrayal, to power, to the Reaper's scythe. A legacy, carved in fire and steel, would echo through the battlefield forever.
What happens when a soul can't let go? When regret and despair chain it to the living world. Their chain of fate begins to corrode, a slow, painful countdown to a horrific transformation. As their heart is lost, a void opens. A hunger that can never be satisfied is born. They are reborn, no longer human, no longer a simple spirit. They become a hollow. Driven by an eternal hunger, they become the mortal enemy of all souls. A monster with the human heart trapped behind a mask.
1,000 years ago, they were legends, indomitable, unbeatable, until they met the flames of the 1st Division Captain Genryusai Yamamoto. In the new era, the bomb reigned supreme, stealing the power of captains. But even her explosive power was crushed by unwavering honor. Then there was the fear, a power that preyed on the soul itself. Yet even terror proved no match for a heart that embraced the cold. In the end, all roads for the Sternritter lead to the same destination, the grave.
My life changed in an instant. I died, became a soul reaper, and got stuck with her. I've always seen ghosts. It's just a normal day for me, or so I thought.
A Shinigami's duty is to protect the living and send spirits to the Soul Society. I used all my power to save you. Now you'll have to take my place.
The next soul to send off is my classmate, Orihime Inoue.
Thank you, Ichigo. I was always happy just to see you smile.
Rest in peace, Orihime. I'll protect the living in your place.
In the shadows, a legend moves, the goddess of flash, Yoruichi Shihoin. A master of speed and combat, her power is unmatched. Beside her stands the former captain of the Kido Corps, Tessai Tsukabishi, wielding power that defies the laws of Soul Society itself. And the fiery spirit, Jinta Hanakari. Don't let his size fool you. Together, they are an unstoppable force, guardians of the forgotten. Their story is written in battle, their legacy eternal.
When a soul dies with unfinished business, it lingers. But the world of the living was never meant for the dead. Trapped by regret, their chain of fate begins to corrode, a countdown to a terrible transformation. As their heart is lost to despair, a hollow is born, a being of pure hunger with only one desire, to devour other souls. And so another monster is unleashed upon the world, seeking its next victim.
In a world where ghosts walk among the living, one boy can see the truth. When his world is shattered by a supernatural threat, a mysterious girl offers him a power he never asked for.
I didn't ask for this power, but I'll use it to protect what's important to me.
Fate will unite him with unlikely allies, each fighting for their own reason. They face an army of lost souls, twisted into monsters called Hollows, hungry for human life. This is the story of a substitute. The legend of Ichigo Kurosaki begins now.
In the heart of Karakura Town, a legend hides in plain sight, but not as you'd expect. This is Yoruichi Shihoin, former captain, former noble, and the fastest being in the Soul Society. Her speed is unmatched, earning her the title Goddess of Flash. Even captains cannot keep up. Master of Shunko, a fusion of hand-to-hand combat and spirit energy, a technique of ultimate power. She abandoned her noble title to protect her friends, a decision that only adds to her legend. True enigma, a warrior, a noble, a friend, and a kid. The one and only Yoruichi Shihoin.
They were the architects of the Soul Society's fall, the pinnacle of Quincy power, Yuach, the father of Quincy. With the Almighty, he saw and shaped all futures, Agram Hashwalth, the balance. Every misfortune dealt to him was returned in full. Lil Barrow, the X-axis. His power was a bullet that never missed and could never be blocked. Their power was godlike, their ambitions absolute. But even gods can fall.
When a soul dies with unfinished business, it lingers. A spirit bound by a single powerful memory. But the world keeps turning. Ties fray. Obsession festers in the gap between the living and the dead. As despair consumes them, their chain of fate corrodes inch by inch until nothing remains but a hollow shell. Their heart is lost. In a burst of agony, they are reborn. No longer human, no longer a spirit. They become a hollow, a being of pure hunger. They are never alone long.
They are the Stern Ritter, the elite soldiers of the Vandenreich. Each bears a unique letter, a unique power. Candace Catnip, the Thunderbolt. Her wrath is a storm that strikes without mercy. Anana Nijakup, the Underbelly. He uncovers your secrets and turns your own body against you. Gremi Thumu, the Visionary. His greatest weapon is his own imagination, a power so great it can be fatal. Nyanzol Weizol, the Wind. To strike him is to strike the air itself, an untouchable shadow. 4 warriors, 4 paths of destruction. In the war for the Stol Society, they are the nightmare made real.
They are the Schutzstaffel, the right hand of the Quincy Emperor, Pernida Parngyas, the Compulsory. It commands all it touches, bending flesh and stone to its will. Gerard Valkyrie, the Miracle. The very concept of defeat bends to his indomitable will. Askin Nak Levar, the death-dealing. He is the master of the lethal dose, and everything is his poison. 3 powers, 3 calamities. To challenge them is to challenge God.
From the ashes of the Soul Society, a new empire rose. The Vandenreich had returned, led by the God King, Iwach. With each life lost, his power grew. His loyal right hand, Hashwalth, enforced his ruthless judgment. But his true prize lay beyond, the royal realm and the heart of all existence, the Soul King. His strongest warriors, the Schutzstaffel, swept aside all opposition. None could stand in his path. Defeating the guardian of reality, Yuvak claimed the throne, becoming a true god. His goal was simple, to be the only existence. But one man dared to challenge the new god. United by a common cause, Ichigo delivered the final blow. The King of Quincy had fallen.
When a soul refuses to pass on, clinging to the living world, a terrible fate awaits. This is the story of the Hollow. Their chain of fate begins to corrode, a physical manifestation of their fading connection to their humanity. Until the day it breaks. A hole opens where their heart once was, and they are reborn into a being of pure hunger. A hollow, driven by an insatiable hunger to devour the souls of the living and the dead to fill the void within. They are the mortal enemies of Soul Society, a tragic reminder of the consequences of lingering in the world of the living.
Shut up. No one's gonna let you do that. My life changed in an instant. I could always see ghosts, but I'd never seen anything like her.
I used all my power to protect everyone. Now you'll have to fulfill my job for me.
Did I just die?
Don't be scared. I'm here to send you somewhere safe. This is my job now, as a substitute Soul Reaper.
They were born of a forbidden experiment, cast out and cursed to walk the earth as immortals. Their leader, Jin Kariya, sought not just revenge, but the complete destruction of the Soul Society. Go Koga, the loyal second in command, wielded the living weapon Dalk in service of his friend's dark vision. The traitor, Ryo Utagawa, sought power through his serpentine doll, turning all he saw into a weapon. And Yoshi, the graceful warrior, danced between life and death with her dual-bladed doll, Nida. In the end, their rebellion was crushed, their immortality proving no match for the power of their enemies. Their legacy as the Bounce would never be forgotten.
From the shadows of the Soul Society, a forgotten empire returned. The Vandenreich, the Invisible Empire. Their first strike, the conquest of Hueco Mundo. Its ruler, Tia Haribal, defeated. Its people enslaved. Then, the invasion of the Soul Society. An act of revenge, a millennium in the making. Their power was absolute. Even the head captain, Genryusai Yamamoto, fell before them. At their helm, the progenitor of all Quincy's, Yu Wuk. His power, the Almighty, allowed him to see and rewrite all possible futures. Born a holy child, he stole the lives and powers of others to prolong his own, becoming a god. His ultimate goal, to destroy the current reality and create a new world without death, a world where only he reigns.
They are the Sternritter, the elite soldiers of the Vandenreich, each a force of pure annihilation. Pepe Wakabrada, the love. His power turns allies into deadly puppets, all madly in love with him. Robert Akutrone, the N, a sharpshooter whose godly aim never misses its mark. Driscoll Birchie, the overkill. The more he kills, the stronger he becomes. A monster fueled by death. Mask Demasculine, the superstar. His ego is his power, growing stronger with every cheer. In the Soul Society, even gods of death can fall. Their reign of terror was short-lived.
When a soul dies with unresolved regrets, it may linger, trapped between worlds, bound by a single fading memory. Their chain of fate slowly corrodes, a timer counting down to the loss of their heart. Consumed by despair, the soul's obsession warps it, accelerating its descent into darkness.
A raw, guttural scream of agony that transitions into a monstrous roar.
When the chain is gone, a hole opens in their chest, and from that void, a hollow is born, a being of pure hunger, a spirit lost to despair, the eternal enemy of Soul Society.
They are the Sternritter, the elite warriors of the Vandenreich, each blessed with a unique, godlike power. Their legacy is carved in blood and battle, 1,000 years of vengeance reborn. Ambietta Bastabine, the Explode. She turns the world into her personal arsenal of destruction. Esnert, the Fear. He is the living embodiment of your most terrifying nightmare. Diltoto Lampard, the Glutton. A bottomless hunger that consumes all in its path. United under Yuak's banner, they are the force that will bring the Soul Society to its knees.
I can see ghosts. It's a pain. But my life as a normal teenager was about to end.
Watch out! That thing is a hollow, a corrupted spirit. It's here to devour the souls around you.
In a moment of desperation, she forced her power onto me. I became a Soul Reaper.
Till my powers return, you're stuck doing my job. Got any problems with that?
Ichigo, did I just die?
Don't be scared. I'll send you to a safe place. Rest in peace, Jaime.
The Quincy Arc, a saga of power, betrayal, and the man who sought to be the only existence, Quack, the father of the Quincy. His goal, to absorb the Soul King and rewrite reality itself, becoming the sole sovereign of a world without death. His right hand, Ugram Hashwalth, the Balance, a man defined by tragic loyalty, who bore the weight of his master's power and fate until the very end. And the leader of his elite guard, Lilabaro, the X-Axis, a bullet with a god's permission, whose power pierces through any defense, tangible or not. Yet even a god can fall. Though defeated, Iwaka's legacy endures, his very being becoming the new foundation of the world he sought to conquer.
When a soul cannot let go of the living world, it remains, bound by a single, fading thread. This chain of fate corrodes with time, a countdown to the soul's inevitable corruption. When the chain breaks, the heart is lost. In its place, a monster is born, a hollow, a being of pure hunger, forever cursed to devour the souls of the living. And now, it has found you.
Beyond the Soul Reapers, a darker power was born. The Fullbringers, outcasts with the power to bend reality itself. Their powers were a curse, driven by tragedy, a ticking clock of death, and a jackpot of luck that came with a price. Some sought to escape their fate, even if it meant sacrificing everything they had. But a new, greater threat emerged from the shadows. the Vandenreich, an empire of Quincy, sworn to eradicate the Soul Reapers. Their invasion was swift and merciless, leaving death and destruction in their wake, and a new world order in their sights. In the face of annihilation, old enemies became unlikely allies, for the fate of all worlds would be decided in the final battle.
When a soul cannot let go of the living world, it remains, bound by a chain of fate. Over time, this chain corrodes, a process fueled by despair and regret. When the chain breaks, the heart is lost. From the void, a hollow is born, driven by an eternal hunger. It devours the souls of the living and the dead to fill the emptiness within.
They are the elite soldiers of the Vandenreich, each wielding a unique power capable of toppling kingdoms. These are the most feared Stern Ritter. First, Candace Catnip, the Thunderbolt, a fierce warrior whose anger summons devastating lightning storms, making her a formidable opponent. Then, the strongest Stern Ritter, Gremy Thumo. His power, the Visionary, turns any fantasy into reality, a force so dangerous it can even kill its own user. Analytical and cunning Nanana Najakoop, the Underbelly, exposes your every weakness, striking where you are most vulnerable. And the enigmatic Nyanzol Waizol, the Wind. He effortlessly pushes away any attack he sees, moving with complete freedom on the battlefield. 4 warriors, 4 unstoppable powers. The Stern Ritter proved to be the Soul Reaper's greatest challenge. Which power would you fear the most?
My name is Ichigo Kurosaki. I can see ghosts, and my life, it just got weirder.
Shinigami's duty is to protect the living and send spirits to the Soul Society. But I was compromised.
She forced her job on me. Then she shrank, and now I'm stuck doing her work.
Did I just die?
Don't be scared. I'm here to send you to a safe place. This is just the beginning. I'm a Soul Reaper now, whether I like it or not.
When a soul dies with unresolved regret, it may linger, a ghost bound to the living world. Over time, their chain of fate corrodes, a countdown to a terrible transformation. Driven by a growing emptiness, the soul's sanity frays until nothing remains but hunger. When the chain is gone, a hole opens. They lose their heart and are reborn as a hollow. A monster with an insatiable hunger, forever cursed to devour other souls to fill the void.
You either forgot about them or tried to. Let's talk about the Bounce, the villains of Bleach's most divisive filler arc. Created by a Soul Society experiment, these immortal humans are forced to devour souls to survive, making them a threat to both worlds. Led by the enigmatic Jin Korea, their goal wasn't conquest, but mutually assured destruction. He sought to destroy the Soul Society and himself. Each Bounce commands a unique doll, a physical manifestation of their soul. From water manipulation to turning anything into a snake, their powers were diverse and deadly. But their rebellion was crushed by Ichigo and the Soul Reapers. One by one, the Bounce fell, their tragic quest ending in defeat. Criticized as lame bad guys, the Bounce nonetheless offered unique character development. Love them or hate them, they left their mark on the Soul Society.
The Quincy Emperor returned, his name Yuwak, and with him he brought the final war to the Soul Society. To him, failure was death, and every life lost on the battlefield only served to prolong his own. His true target was the Soul King, the linchpin of reality itself. The invasion of the royal realm had begun.
His elite guard, the Schutzstaffel, swept aside all opposition. Their power seemed absolute.
Forced to reveal his true power, Yuwak defeated the Soul King's guardian and then struck down the king himself. Absorbing both the king and his successor, Yuwak transcended mortality, remaking the world in his image to become the sole existence.
But in his moment of triumph, Yuwak was betrayed and defeated. His reign of terror and his life ended at the hands of Ichigo Kurosaki.
And so, the world was saved. But the price of peace was high, paid with the lives of kings and conquerors.
They were the vanguard of the Quincy King, the most powerful warriors in the Vandenreich. Pernida Pankyas, the Soul King's left arm. Its power of the compulsory bends all matter to its will. Gerard Valkyrie, the Soul King's heart. His miracle turned the army's fear into unstoppable power. Askin Nak Levar, the lethal dose, a master of poisons who dictates how much of anything will kill you. Yet, for all their power, each fell in battle against the Soul Reaper's mightiest. Their deaths were not in vain, paving the way for the Emperor's ascent.
What happens when a soul can't let go? Trapped between worlds, consumed by regret, their chain of fate begins to corrode, a slow countdown to a horrifying transformation, until a hole tears open, signifying they have lost their heart completely. They are reborn, no longer human, no longer a spirit. They become a hollow, driven by an eternal, insatiable hunger to devour other souls and fill the void within. And now, it hungers.
The Vandenreich's invasion shattered the Soul Society. At its vanguard, the elite Stern Ritters. These are their powers. Candace Catnip, the Thunderbolt. A tempest of rage, her lightning rains down with devastating force. Ananajakup, the Underbelly. He dissects your spirit, exposing every secret weakness for exploitation. Gremi Thumo, the Visionary. The strongest of them all. His imagination is your new reality. Nyanzol Wazol, the Wind. A phantom on the battlefield, every attack simply blows right through him. Del Lloyd, the Yourself. He becomes you. Your power, your face, your ultimate undoing.
They are the vanguard of the Vandenreich, the three most powerful Stern Ritter, personally chosen by Yuwak. Pernida Pankyas, the Compulsory, the Soul King's own arm, with the power to distort and control any living or dead thing it touches. Gerard Valkyrie, the Miracle, the Soul King's heart, who turns the collective hope and fear of his enemies into unstoppable power. Askin Nak Levar, the Death-Dealing, the master of poison who can manipulate the lethal dose of any substance, including your own blood. Together they are the final line of defense, three unstoppable forces, ready to protect the King's domain at any cost.
When a human soul clings to the living world, bound by regret, a terrible fate awaits. Their chain of fate corrodes, a countdown to damnation. With each link broken, their heart grows colder, until finally it breaks. Their heart is lost, and from the void, a monster is born. A deep, echoing, monstrous roar, driven by an insatiable hunger to devour other souls.
When a soul cannot let go of the living world, it remains, bound by a single, fragile chain. Over time, that chain corrodes, a slow decay of the heart, fueled by despair and regret. The soul's lingering obsession warps it, a hunger beginning to take hold as sanity fades, until finally, the heart is lost. From the ashes of a broken soul, a new being is born. Hollow, a monster with an insatiable hunger for souls, forever cursed to fill the void in its chest.